the climate of business in the United States of America. But listen, believers, don't go nowhere. We got way more to share. You're rocking with the Brunch Bunch right here on Inspiration 1390. Did you start a new one?
It's your girl, Money Mika, coming to you to let you know about the
You ended it too quick. Okay. Because I was redoing it. Let's see. I don't know what.
Oh, we got to reconnect it or something?
Yeah, I'm reconnecting. Okay, it say mine.
When I was in the StreamYard, it showed all three destinations. It's going to YouTube, going to Facebook.
I didn't do YouTube, I don't think.
Brunch YouTube?
Oh, it is. It's YouTube. Facebook is me.
Yeah.
We're here to provide compassionate care and support for you and your loved ones. With dignity and respect,
what the heck?
Families honor their loved ones in a way
Live on LinkedIn. I pay extra. Oh.
during your time of need. Call Funeral Group at 773-413.
Let me see, because.
Okay.
773-413.
Live on the Facebook.
All right, we are live. We are live. We are live. We are live. Facebook, DJ Bilo text me. Let me see.
I got 3 stories.
I saw it.
2 of them were about Trump, so I guess it's just depending on which one you want to talk about more.
I mean, Trump is in office. I'm sure every day we're going to have something to talk about with Trump.
Hold on. No, we're missing the story. Oh, wait, no. Is that it right there?
No call yet.
Oh. There we go. Okay.
Okay, I need to shout out a couple of.
Oh yeah. So for one of the show, whatever you can, just give me announcements early on so I can put them on there.
Yes. So I'm gonna tell you the ones that we definitely need to start doing a couple of times a week, and I want you to be recording.
Located conveniently in the Soul City corridor on Chicago Avenue, we're here to help you get the maximum refund.
The tax one, RB Pass.
No problem. We offer nationwide services to meet your needs wherever.
Oh, this is a nice house for sale in the Soul in Austin. 4 beds, 3.5 baths. Where is this? On Erie. Finished basement. Y'all, they are developing up.
That apartment up there in Austin still open? You filled it up yet?
Oh man, too bad. Look at that house, y'all. Too bad I found it. And the Facebook Live ain't living. I know, right, Tina? Oh, you know what?
They can go to New York.
Can y'all hear now? Well, the mayor just talked about that.
Oh yeah, because it was a lot of like celebrities and actors and stuff in that too. And there's a lot of crossover with LA and Chicago right now in the film scene. We don't see a lot of LA.
We don't just cover imperfections, we reveal the beauty in you.
Hey, it's your main man, Action Jackson. Life can throw you a lot of curveballs. Sometimes these life events can seriously hurt
you. Got the right number, right?
A bad credit score.
That's an Adam question.
A car starting a business. Well, lucky for you,
30. We got in a row. 30 seconds.
The intentions are great at credit repair. They can help you address all those inaccurate, unverified, or unfair negative items on your credit report. It just takes one phone call and you'll walk away with a free credit analysis and a game plan to start fixing your credit. Call 872-319-3319 to get your free one-on-one credit evaluation today, and you can be laughing at bad credit.
I smile.
319-3319 for your free credit evaluation.
We're in the raw with America on the Brunch Bunch.
So what's going on is next Friday, January 31st, it is time for another dad venture. That's right. The Chicagoland Dad Squad is inviting all dads and their families. Not that us dads cannot do it on our own, but we're allowed. This is family night out led by the Dad Squad. We are going to Disney on Ice. That's right. Disney on Ice is back and it's kicking off tonight at the All-State Arena at 7 p.m. Free parking is involved. And next week we'll be at the United Center. So all days I want you to meet me there. Tickets are not that cheap, but thanks to the Dad Squad, we have a special Dad and Mom Squad pass where if you use our coupon, you get tickets for $20. That's right. Tickets are only $20 and you get free parking. They're valid for on Friday for the 10:30 and all 7:30 performances. The rest of the time they are here. You definitely want to make sure that if you're a dad or if you know a dad, tell them to come out and join the Dad Squad. Bring the families. We give out T-shirts. We're thinking about doing some beanies for the dads to, say Dad Squad on it. But it's a great time. Last time we did Monster Jam, we had a really, really good time. We have to show the world that dads are just as involved as the moms. And for Black dads, that is not always the case in the media. But we know that we are here. And you know what? I'm excited when I can get in the room with some other dads. So listen, if you need in-person coupons, you can pick them up from the Dream Center. That's 5927 West Chicago Avenue on the west side. We are open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Or you can go on our social media and get a copy of the digital coupon. That's Chicagoland Dad Squad on Instagram, or you can follow me at Marcel Action Jackson. I got them. DM me if you're having any issues. We'll make sure you get them. We are sitting in section 106 and 209 next Friday night. So if you get the coupon, you go get your tickets. See if you can get them with us in sections 106 and sections 209. They're only $20, but of course, our section seats are limited. We're going to have a good time, dads. I'm going to say this by faith. I'm looking for 50 fathers to pull up with me next Friday. I know we can get 50 fathers in the room to have a good time. And we want to break social media with the pictures of all the dads with their kids enjoying Disney on Ice. And you never know, the Mom Squad, shout out to the Mom Squad, to Neil Jackson. They always have surprises and treats set up for us when we do our Dad Ventures event. But we have a great guest on the line. He's a father. And I call him the godfather of business. That's none other than Larry D. Ivory, the president and CEO of the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce, the leading advocate for Black businesses in Illinois. With an extensive background in international business and a deep commitment to economic empowerment, Brother Larry leads efforts in advocacy, education, networking, and mentoring for African American entrepreneurs. He also serves as chairman of the National Black Chamber of Commerce and holds numerous leadership roles in procurement and economic development. Get ready for an insightful conversation with a true champion for Black business excellence. Let's give a warm brunch bunch welcome to Larry Ivory. Woo, woo, woo. Brother Larry, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing much better now. After that introduction, I feel like running around the block, man. It is cold outside.
Well, that means that I've done my job very well. Man, it's so nice to hear from you, Brother Larry. I was talking about you this morning in the AAA BNA meeting with Brother Malcolm Crawford.
Absolutely, man. It is so wonderful to get a chance to be on the air with you and to talk about, what we talk about, and that's how to strengthen Black businesses, what's going on in the Black business space. And really, as we say, when we strengthen Black businesses, we strengthen Black people, we strengthen Black communities, and we also strengthen America all at the same time. And we have to be very focused on that because most of our problems are related to money. 80% of our problems are related to money.
Yeah.
So we got to find out a way how to make money, and entrepreneurship is one of the great tools of creating wealth.
That is it. And you're doing an amazing job. So, Brother Larry, can you share for those that do not know the mission and key goals of the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce?
Absolutely, I'd love to. The mission is to economically empower and sustain the African American community through entrepreneurship and capitalistic activities via interaction with our National Black Chamber of Commerce throughout the Black diaspora. In essence, what we do is that we strengthen business. That's our mission. Every day we get up, that's what we're focusing on. And we realize that when we focus on that, Mr. Jackson, that we also got to focus on policy and things that get in the way of Black business success, whether it be access to capital, whether it be policies that are good, bad, or indifferent to Black business. So we stay vigilant in our commitment to reaching out to government agencies and everybody else to make sure that Black business has a seat at the table.
I love it. So, Brother Larry, listen, you know, we just had the inauguration of our 47th president, Donald J. Trump, and he's coming out the gate swinging, and people are concerned. And so one of the things that we're talking about this hour is, of course, he targeted DEI programs and federal agencies, but for entrepreneurs, President Trump revokes key anti-discrimination order impacting federal contractors. How is the business feel about to be for African American business owners in this country, and what do we need to do to make sure we're on the right side of things?
Well, first we need to make sure that we understand, what everything means, because they had, Supreme Court had already, fundamentally just wiped out affirmative action. And that was significant because you had a conservative court. And my mentor was the late Arthur Fletcher, who was a father of affirmative action. And he happened to be a Republican, quite frankly, who wrote affirmative action under the Nixon administration. And he would roll over in his grave if he had understood what was happening, because that's what he did when he was in Washington as the Assistant Secretary of Labor. He wrote us in, and he took a great deal of risk to do that. And they have taken that back to some degree. The attack on DEI, whether people would like to believe it or not, there are real legitimate concerns that Black business ought to have in terms of how far they take this when it comes to government spending. And I point out that, white males get right now in federal government spending, they have close to about 85% of all the contracts at the federal government side. And to claim that, it's discrimination against white males is just, I think, ridiculous from my perspective, because they're already getting 85 to 90% of all the business. And so how can you be discriminating against them when we and everybody else that gets such an insignificant portion of the contract opportunities that we all fund and invest in? So on Capitol Hill, I think we need to be very careful in terms of the executive orders, how the courts are going to respond to some of the things that President Trump has done, but make sure that we have a clear understanding, but more importantly, make sure that we organize and that we make sure that we don't allow, we don't sit idly by and just be a passive participant. And then when things get really bad, we begin to say we got a problem. We got a problem, and the problem happened way before it just started today. So we got to fight for it, and I think we got to get organized and stay very focused.
Well, it's good to know that we have people like you, Brother Larry, who are helping to lead the charge and lead the fight. And so you, of course, let us know here at the Brunch Bunch, myself and Tamira, how we can be involved, because as entrepreneurs, business owners, this affects us all. So we don't want to just sit idly by. So the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce is doing a lot to support Black entrepreneurs. what are some of the key benefits for those that are not members? What are some of the key benefits of membership, and how does it help the members grow?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that question. One of the things about, you say membership has its privileges, but whether you're a member or not, we are advocates fighting for Black business every day. And I'll give you an example of that. There are laws on the books that is good for Black business and good for minority, but especially for Black business. And we find those laws and we make sure that people abide by the laws, because what we find very often in government, especially Illinois in some cases, is that you got laws on the books that people are not enforcing. Now, when Black people break the law, they want to put them in jail.
Yeah.
When white people conveniently break the law, when
they become president.
They become president and nothing happens. And so one of the key laws that I want to share with our listening audience, and I want you to remember this is a law, a procurement law, which makes it's not Larry's law, it's not Governor Pritzker's law, it's not Marcellus Jackson's law. This is the law dealing with procurement. And the procurement law states that at every BEP council meeting, there shall be an opportunity to discuss discrimination. And if you find there is discrimination, you shall establish a filtered market to correct the discrimination. And that means that you can do that means that you can have contracts that can be targeted just at that particular group that's been left out. And what's happening in the state of Illinois, they're not abiding by the law. And the chamber got Governor Rauner to do an executive order to make sure that at every council meeting and other things that we would abide by those things. So we have to make sure that they're following the rules and the regulations. So a chamber basically is there when something comes out that is good, bad, or indifferent. We're the advocates because you're running your business. We're in Springfield talking to legislators, working with, the governor, key people to make sure they understand the collateral damage this may do to our business. So that's one thing. The other thing that we do a lot of what we call networking and matchmaking. So when there's an opportunity at every conference we have, we bring over 30 different companies, corporations, universities, colleges. They're at our meeting to meet with Black business owners to talk about their capacity in getting contracts with those particular companies. So every day we're working with businesses, whether that's ComEd, whether that's Nicor, People's Gas, AT&T. We're talking to leadership at the highest levels to make sure that African-American businesses have a seat at the table. We also got to make sure that those businesses are ready, willing, and able. So when the opportunity comes up, they can participate in those opportunities. And that's one of the great benefits of the organization. We do networking meetings where you talk to people in the business, other Black entrepreneurs who are running their businesses, doing great things, or having great challenges. And it's always best to have people that can mentor you, people that you can engage in to help you when you run into a problem. So we make sure that we're connecting to each other. And then we have a global perspective. So if you're interested in doing business overseas, we're not only able to connect you in Illinois, but we have sister chambers in New York, Alabama, Tennessee, New Jersey, who we have our counter chambers of commerce who are there if you're trying to expand your footprint. And we have a lot of businesses that we have partnered with and sent to our other chambers of commerce throughout the country. And they're doing business and winning major contracts in those states because we made it easy because of our connectivity at a state and national level.
Wow.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg of the things that we do. We also have an incredible international footprint where we're doing business with the leadership of the country, where they're opening doors in ways that it's just incredible, that we're really excited about. And I could go on and on, but that's some of the highlights of things we do.
Well, Brother Larry, you kind of led into my next question, and I'm personally excited to learn more about this. You've been doing some great international partnerships, particularly in Zimbabwe. What opportunities do you see for Black businesses through these international partnerships?
Well, I think one of the greatest opportunities we have to create legacy wealth is in Mother Africa, hands down. I remember sitting with one of the past presidents, and I was one of the few people in Capitol Hill in the meeting, and they were talking about international trade. And they talked about China, India, one of the growth areas. And I asked about China. And the guy who was the chief financial officer for the president said, even though they hadn't mentioned Africa, his eyes lit up. He says, Africa is one of the greatest opportunities. We make more money in Africa than any place else. The profit margin are absolutely astounding. But they didn't say that until I asked the question. And when you take a look at Africa, it is the richest continent in the world, by far, with more natural resources, a young population. It has all of the economic indicators that you would want if you're trying to take a look at where's the next best opportunity, like you take a look at the next best stock to buy. If you're buying a stock in countries, then you would want to invest in Africa because it has the greatest growth opportunities. And that's in every sector, from mining, gold, diamond, platinum, lithium. They got over 60, Zimbabwe alone got over 60 natural minerals.
Oh, wow.
Identity, IT, artificial intelligence, alternative energy, because there's always such a great energy demand, agriculture. The place is wide open, and the profit margins are phenomenal. And it's the only place that Black people have a competitive advantage. You know, when you go to Zimbabwe, you know, we met with 50 of the top CEOs of that country, had dinner for us, and all 50 CEOs showed up. And they were all looking at how to do business and how to do relationship with their brothers and sisters from America. And I tell people that African Americans will never truly be completely respected until Mother Africa is respected economically. And so we bring a lot of the talent and gifts, but we also have a competitive advantage. And that's why if we're looking at overseas and the profit margins and the entry point, it's just good business for us because the Chinese are there, the Indians are there, the Russians are there. They're there because they're making money. We're the only group of people who are not there, and the greatest asset they took from Africa wasn't the gold and the diamonds, it was us. Now we get a chance to come back home and help impact the overall global economy by doing business in Africa. And I'm truly excited. I think we got to do a better job of connecting with our brothers and sisters in Africa.
I think so too, Brother Larry. And I'm excited to learn. I've had conversations and actually earlier this week, someone was sharing with me how you've been doing some great work in Africa. So when I found out you were going to be the guest, I felt like it was just divine timing to make sure I'm reconnected with you because I'm very, very interested. And I know others. Now, are there opportunities, grants or opportunities to take entrepreneurs over to, learn about these investment opportunities?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Prosper Africa, there's a lot of dollars and cents. And the other thing is that I'm also involved with the U.S. Chamber of Commerce on Capitol Hill. So we get a chance to, talk to the senators and key people about America's global philosophy. And, what I find to be the case that there's a lot of resources that we're not tapping into through Exim Bank, to Prosper Africa. DCO in the state of Illinois has money that if you go overseas and you do business, they reimburse you for that time and energy. Now, there's a process, but I don't think but white people have taken advantage of it. And they've had trade missions to Saudi Arabia all over the place. They go, they get business, they get it paid for by the government. We're not participating at the same level. And probably because in some cases we don't know about all the benefits. And that's why belonging into the chamber becomes important, because you're going to get access to information that you otherwise would not ever get a chance to get access to when you have an issue when someone's not paying you. And I tell people, I say, you get a contract, you're a contractor, a construction contractor, and some big contractor's not paying your money.
Mm-hmm.
And and you can't afford to hire an attorney to go and fight the fight because it's going to cost you too much money. Sometimes you're a part of the chamber family. They don't want to get a call from me because the chamber is well respected. And when I call, I talk to the people at the top and say, look, this is who I am. And most of the time, they understand who we are because we've been fighting this fight for since 1997 when we started the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce. And I tell us, this is our member, and, we have a problem with them getting paid. I need to find out what the problem is, and I need to fix this problem before it becomes a problem for you and me. So it would be in our best interest for us to get whatever problem we have resolved so we can get this thing taken care of. I can't tell you the number of times that people say, Mr. Ivory, no problem, let's see. And they don't want a problem because we have the ability to understand how to impact people in a way that makes them do it. I don't mean that we win every fight, but if you're fighting by yourself and you got a problem and someone's not paying you, then they're gonna do you. They're gonna absolutely do you if they can. But it's hard to do an organization that has a footprint nationally, globally, and is connected with key people, even people in Congress, whether it be Jonathan Jackson, Congressman Daddy Davis, and people on Capitol Hill across the board. We leveraged who we are for the sake of our members. And just think about if you had someone like that you had to pay to make that happen. It costs you a lot of money. Well, all you got to do is become a member of the chamber, pay a membership dues, and you have access to that. And you can't beat that. And this is the time, man, that we got to get connected because I think we may have some challenges that we've never had before in quite some time. And we're going to have to come together and understand our economic power because we represent $2.3 trillion of buying power. That's a significant power. I think it's the 13th largest country in the world.
Wow. Well, I'm glad that you shared that. And for the believers listening, if you're not a member of the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce, I can attest to the fact that you want to be. And Brother Larry Ivory is a fighter and an advocate for entrepreneurs, and you want that support. I know, Brother Larry, before I let you go, I know some of the great things that you have done. I've heard and I've been able to see a lot of the great success stories. But if you could share a success story that highlights the impact of the Illinois Black Chamber of State Black Chamber of Commerce, a success story, a testimonial of how you and the chamber were able to help one of the members, if it was a contract, if it was a fight, just something so the believers can know.
Okay, well, I'll start with the new casino that was built by Wind Creek. I was a part of the team with Wind Creek, and Wind Creek right now has an employment rate which is unimaginable. Of over 70% of the employees are African American.
Oh, wow.
There's no other casino in the world that comes close to that. And on top of it, the general contractor, he had one of our members for a construction company became the partner with Neil Construction Company to help build the casino. Then we had a whole host of just incredible business people who are members of the chamber who got contracts with Wind Creek. I'm an ambassador with Wind Creek. We sat at the table. We did some things. And the last thing I say is that with the Illinois Lottery, we were the team that went to the lottery years ago and made sure that all of the black media companies had contracts with the lottery. Mm-hmm. And the only thing they really had to do was simply sign on the dotted line. Bob Dale, bless his soul, he was our leader. Chairman of the board, was a phenomenal leader in terms of advertising. We were able to negotiate a contract to make sure that all black media people who were part of people that we knew, from North to the Bell Crusaders, all of them, they participate. They still have contracts with the lottery, but we negotiated that contract and made sure. But we have thousands and thousands of stories of things like this. You know, this is everyday business that we do, that we're advocates. We're pushing to make sure that all the major utility companies that we meet with the leadership to make sure that we have a seat at the table, and everybody, so many people win contracts and get access, and we get, and sometimes specialized treatment because you're part of the chamber family, and we're dealing with people at the highest level.
Yep.
So when we got a problem, we get a chance to talk to the president of those companies.
I love it. Brother Larry, how can people get involved, join the chamber, and connect with you?
Well, I would tell them that this Saturday, on the 30th of this month, we have a membership drive virtually. So people come on. You can go to our website at ilbcc.org. And you got to make sure you got the right chamber, because there's another chamber with a name similar to, they're not us, and they don't represent us. So make sure that it's the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce that you're connecting to at the same time. But you can go to our website, ilbcc.org. Our phone number is 309-740-4430. You can call us, and then we'll give you information. You can also listen to us on our radio show that we've been, and tune in every Saturday morning at 9:05, where we open up, and you can come listen to the show, and then you can get connected. And Mr. Jackson, for the work that you do, man, I've known you for quite a number of years. I think when I first met you, you were doing the tax thing and knocking the ball, just doing an incredible job.
Yeah, we were doing which I got to get with you. The fight was hard. We got to fight to get that back. We were reporting the rent to help build credit. The first Black company.
You got it done, and nothing but the greatest deal of respect for you and the work that you've done. And when we owe it to ourselves for you and I to stay connected.
Yes.
Because there's always ways that we can help each other. And anything I can do for you in terms of what you're doing, man, you can count on that, because relationships are so critical and important. And once we build them, we need to continue to build them. So let me know if there's anything I can do for you. And thanks for having us on the show. And let me thank also Deborah Farmer, who's one of our members, who's doing some great work for us.
Yes.
Also, he went over to Zimbabwe with us, and just had a great time. But we're doing some exciting things. And if you're a business owner and you're trying to grow your business, you need a team. You need to add the chamber to your team. So go to ilbcc.org and take a look at our website. Give us a call at the number we gave you, 309-740-4430. Thanks a lot for everything.
No, thank you, Brother Larry. We are definitely connected. Anytime you need to get some information out, the Brunch Bunch doors are open for you and the chamber. And I'm going to make sure my membership is renewed and paid up, because it's time to get involved and get ready for the fight.
Hey, my son, make sure you send me your phone number, because I don't know if I have that still on my phone.
Yeah, I'll shoot you a text.
And see how I can help support your radio show also.
I love it. I love it, Brother Larry. Thank you so much. And we will be talking soon. I'll text you once I'm off the air. Believers, make sure you connect with the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce. That was Brother Larry Ivory dropping some great information. You can find out more information at ilbcc.org. That's ilbcc.org. Or give them a call at 309-740-4430. Here on the Brunch Bunch, it's always our aim to send you back better than you came. And so we're excited that we had Brother Larry Ivory from the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce, because that information definitely left me better. And you know what? I can say it a little louder. Things are going to get better. Don't go nowhere. We got way more to share. It's Rance Allen, a little louder right here on the Brunch Bunch. Hey, Zachary Harvey, what's up?
He's still on the line. You want to talk to him?
Yeah. Bro, Larry? Yeah, if not, I'll text you. Bro, Larry? Oh. What's up, Facebook? Listen, I'm going to talk about it on the air, but I'll give a little right now. You turn that down. Oh. Yeah. Jarrell can cut it up, man. Here. You can turn it down, so I don't want to get kicked off. Brother Larry Ivory is a resource, and he only gave you a little bit. I know members of the Illinois State Black Chamber. When I first became a member, I had a company that I had to sell. Started, grow it, sell it. Started, scale it, sell it. This is the name of the game. But nevertheless, Brother Larry and the Illinois State Black Chamber honored me as the new business of the year. And I got to go down to Peoria, Illinois, one of my favorite towns, and hang with him and a lot of the members, and to hear these successful Black business owners pay homage and appreciate Brother Larry for helping opening the door to multi-million-dollar contracts, helping the fight get legislation changed or enacted, is definitely a benefit. And if you're an entrepreneur or an aspiring entrepreneur, I would tell you it will behoove you to be a part of business organizations. Most people used to say, Action Jackson, how do you get all the grants? How do you know all the resources? Because I'm at the table. I told somebody this morning on my way into a meeting, I said, if I'm not at the table, I'm allowing other people to make decisions for me. So I'm at the table. And you know what? I renewed my membership for the Austin African American Business Networking Association this morning. I renewed my membership with the Leaders Network earlier this month. And I'm renewing my membership with the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce because I used to really be involved. But of course, you all know when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. I haven't had lemons the last 2 years. I haven't had much time to go meet and do the things that I need to do for business because I've been taking care of family. But I know how critical and crucial it is to be a part of these organizations and to be a part of the conversation. So, now look, I'm not getting paid to advocate for these organizations, but I'll tell you this. If you want to move far, I was finna try to be deep and say a saying, but go alone. But if you want to do more, go with somebody. But nevertheless, be a part of the group. I actually being in the room the meeting I was at today, years ago, they told me about Soul City and what was happening on Chicago Avenue. And I asked Brother Malcolm, I said, what's available? I want to be a part of this historic business district. He told me it was nothing, that he knew available. So one day after the meeting, I rode up and down the street and wrote the addresses of all the vacant buildings down. I got my team. We started looking up owners. And long story short, I own a 4-unit building in the Soul City corridor. I was awarded $250,000 from the city in grant money. And for the few people that are listening, I haven't really made a major announcement, but it is public data. I just got $1.5 million from the state of Illinois. So I am, it's being in the room, it's being at the table. And so we are developing, which is funny, another testimony, which we're going to do more recording and talking because God has blessed me with so much experience that I have to help people. Jarrell does not even know how God used him to confirm. Now, the 1.5 million that I got from the state is to develop what was called Soul City Studios, but we're thinking about changing the name to Dream Center Studios. But it's a full-fledged creative space with podcast studios and radio stations, content studios. And I said, I need to launch more podcasts on my own, not just to have all these podcasts, but if I'm in the industry, I need to be showing people. And Jarrell came to me one day and said, let's launch Marcel's Man Cave. And I'm like, I don't need another job. But you know what? I went home and the Lord dropped in my spirit, this is what you do. You're going to be helping people create this. You got to create it. So we got some big things on the way, and I am so excited about opportunities. But opportunities do not come to sleepers. The only thing come to a sleeper is a dream. And when you get those dreams and don't act on it, it's like a Raising in the Sun.
Amen.
I can't get nobody to help me.
We got 6 minutes in the show.
Let's go back in.
All right, so we want to come back in.
Yep.
We got 20 seconds in the commercial.
All right.
0711.
What's going on?
That's 773-455-0711.
10 seconds.
And for a
I
limited
had a
time,
rich man tell me something.
$100 off.
Confirm
promo
something for me
code
too the other day.
Brunch. And remember, call attorney
India
India Rios
Rios.
to secure the brand and the
Record.
bag. Where's the action, Jackson?
I'll tell you what's going on.
What's going on is, listen, if you're not following us on social media, you need to. We definitely have great conversations behind the scenes. Sometimes you get a little bloopers, and sometimes you hear conversations you shouldn't hear because I forget that I got a mic on. But nevertheless, thank God I'm not saying anything that should not be heard. But sometimes I just got to remember that the mics are hot. But make sure you're following us. That's at Brunch 1390 on all social medias. Listen, this morning, Miss Shirley Howard, I was just talking about you. This morning, I was able to attend the Austin African American Business Networking Association meeting, affectionately known as AAA BNA. And I haven't been able to attend one of these meetings in over a year because of, life challenges. But as I was walking in with Miss Shirley, she, this was our second time in a week walking into the same room together. And I mentioned to her, I said, listen, Miss Shirley, if we are not in the room at the table, we're allowing other people to make decisions for us. And I say that to say, Brother Larry Ivory was just on with us talking about his great organization. If you're an entrepreneur or an aspiring entrepreneur, trust me, you want to be at the table. People often ask me, well, I got in the social media fight once. She's a friend of mine now, and I never do social media beef, but she made a comment about, I hear all the time, gatekeepers and people don't want to help. Listen, I don't care about none of that because can't nobody block what God has for me, right? But sometimes we allow gatekeepers to think that they're keeping the gate because we're not proactively trying to open the gate, right? But if you are working hard and you fighting, no devil in hell can stop what God has ordained for you. Now, that's a word right there. Send an offering if I'm sounding good. So with that being said, you got to be in the room, though. I had to tell someone, this was many years ago. Shout out to Crystal. I'm going to let her know I was talking about her. She said, well, how do you know everything that's going on? How do you know about all the resources? How do you know this? I said, because I go to the meetings. That was as simple as that. I'm in the room. When they told me that they were developing Soul City, African American Business District, you know what? I was in the room and I made up my mind that I wanted to be a part of this history. Did I wait on them to bring me an opportunity? No. I rode up and down the street. I looked at every abandoned building or building that looked like it should have been abandoned. And I wrote down the addresses of it. I found the owners and I started making calls to see who wanted to sell their building. I ended up purchasing a 4-unit building on Chicago Avenue. Then I applied for a city grant that I heard about in the room several times, not just once, because sometimes people say, you just get everything. No, I applied 3 or 4 times for the City Neighborhood Opportunity Fund. The third time I got it, and that was for $250,000. But it wasn't because I'm just the best person in the world and God only likes me. No, I'm faithful over the few that he gives me, and he'll make me ruler over many. That's the word right there. So I just want to encourage you believers on this Financial Friday, this Feel Good Friday. Stop just saying you want something. You got to do it. Nothing comes to a sleeper but a dream. And guess what? If you don't act on that dream, it dries up like a raisin in the sun, a dream deferred. I want to encourage you today, if God has given you a vision, trust that he will provide provision. That means if he called you to do it, it will work. When Moses was talking to the fiery bush, the Bible, this is my favorite parable. The Bible says that the bush was on fire, but it was never consumed by the fire. Do you know why that tree was not consumed by the fire, was not burnt up and burnt out? Because the tree was called to be on fire for God. Now I'm done preaching because I'm really want to offer. I just encourage myself. So I hope that you are encouraged, because when God calls you to it, he will help you through it and you will not be burnt out. I want you believers to have a great weekend. Find an organization to be a part of for whatever industry you're in. Find a Facebook group and join a virtual mom squad, or shameless plug, join the Chicagoland Dance Squad. We have a Facebook group with over 700 fathers, but get a part of a community because you can go further together than alone. We encourage you, like we do each and every day, to keep Love 24 alive. Tell someone that you don't know that you love them. Tell someone that you do know that you love them. Love will begin to spread like a wildfire. Tamara Fair, who is not on the air, she is on her way to take care of some business in Jamaica. So pray for her safe travels there and back. Believers, we love you, baby Eminem. We love you too. Up next is AC Green. After that, we gonna keep the show rolling right here on 1390. See you Monday. We out. Lord, how did I get tongue twisted at the end? I'm like, how did that happen, Facebook? Listen, y'all ain't seen nothing. I'm like Tammy now, she love to give a speech at the end. I'm gonna give a speech today in honor of Tammy. Y'all, bad English and all, y'all ain't seen nothing yet. I am on fire. We are about to help so many people, but only people that are ready. I go in these rooms. I was in the room this morning with the mayor, and he talked about the investments they are trying to make in the communities. It's called the middle something. Look it up. But the goal is when you go down these blocks in our hood and you see all these vacant lots in the middle of homes, he's trying to get developers to develop homes on those lots so we don't have all these vacant lots. And they're giving out grant money. Now, I went to a developer to say, hey, and his first thing was, yeah, they ain't gonna give it to me. Oh, there's politics. Oh, and I said, that'll stop you from getting anything every time, because you have to go with an optimistic mind. No matter how many times you heard no in the past. I don't care how many times somebody told me no. I keep trying. And because I keep trying, I am blessed, because faithfulness will get you further than fear. See, I'm really on 10 today. I need cut this mic on, Jarrell. We recording another podcast. I'm on it because God gave me a vision the other day, and the Dream Center is about to go above and beyond. We got some great things. You're gonna hear here first too. U.S. Bank dropped $10,000 on your boy to support the Dream Center's Dream Builders Collective, and we are about to launch a coaching program. I'm gonna do it Monday. I wanted to wait until Monday. Shout out to my photographer, Chris DeMar, who yesterday took care of your boy with a great photo shoot. So I'm really ready to launch some stuff. But we're about to help. Tina, don't overtax the blocks with this idea. No, and he talked about that too. The mayor has been on fire, and he said something that it's only been 20 months he's been in office. Y'all know that, right? That's not even a full 2 years yet. And he has endured so much. I'm thinking he up for election again this year, at the end of this year. We got to support him. We got to pray for him, but we got to learn exactly about some of the things that he's doing, because it would be, he said, of course, the white man will fill in our head propaganda to attack the black man, and that he's not doing anything. But the same funds that he's giving out in grants have been given out and taken advantage of for many years. He's just trying to make sure the right people are getting it. So listen, I'm done. Anything else, you got to pay for a ticket to my TED Talk. I'll see y'all on Monday. Have a good weekend. I'll be out and about. I'm booked all weekend for a few events, so hope to see some of you all out in the community. We love you. Be safe. See you on Monday.